Hello everyone, my name's Kitetsu and welcome back to my channel. This is probably a first for me and certainly a very long time. 2 videos in one day. Unbelievable. The first one that went up this morning, my Gloomspite Gits Battletome review, that kind of doesn't count because I pre-recorded it. But I thought whilst I'm sitting here checking up on the comments everyone's leaving on that Battletome review, why don't I go ahead and make a quick video looking at the article that just dropped on the Warhammer community site. And obviously that is all about Warhammer World's New Year's Open Day 2019, where they have announced loads of fun stuff, loads of Genestealer cult stuff, which obviously I'm interested in too because I collect Genestealer cults. Really liked the Admech figure as well, but that is not what I am here to talk about. I am obviously here to talk about the Age of Sigmar stuff. They've just literally announced this amazing new box set, and obviously details are a little bit thin on the ground. We don't know when it's coming out. We don't know how much it's going to cost, although I would guess maybe it's probably going to be around the £90 mark, similar to Blight War and some of the other more recent sort of box sets that have come out of Games Workshop. But yeah, I was looking through the article. I scrolled all the way down to the Age of Sigmar stuff, and I thought, okay, Gloomspite Gits, of course that's going to be the big thing, and I didn't really anticipate that they were going to announce much more than that. These models only went up for pre-order this morning, so I thought, okay, yeah, this is going to be people's chance to come and see the models, you know, in the flesh for the first time. But what I thought was quite amazing is literally 2 days ago, I was thinking of making a video of either my top 5 favourite Battletomes so far that have come out with Age of Sigmar, or making a video predicting what I think is going to happen this year with Age of Sigmar, or at least over the following few years maybe. I even ran a poll on my Twitter saying, I wonder which of these armies people want updated first for Age of Sigmar, and the winner, not really surprisingly, was SKAVEN. I've talked extensively on my channel about wanting SKAVEN updated, but I didn't realise it would be quite this soon, literally a couple of days later. But when I was thinking of doing my top 5 Battletomes, one of the ones I wanted to talk about was the Flesh Eater Courts, and I was debating it for quite a while, and then I thought, no, this can't actually make it into my top 5, because although the storyline is absolutely amazing and one of the best of all of the Age of Sigmar Battletome or faction storylines, the range of models they have just is not there. It's one of those factions that has such a good backstory, such a good concept, the quality of the figures that are there are great, but there just aren't enough of them, and this has been a recurring theme with Age of Sigmar for ages. I've actually gone and bought the Battletome for the Flesh Eater Courts really recently, and there's been so many times I've been tempted to pick up this kit and haven't, purely because I thought, well, where do I go from there? By the time you've bought the start collecting kit at the moment, you're more or less done with the army. But the Terrorgeist is one of my absolute favourite models of all time. I love it. And obviously, me being a fan of SKAVEN, it's not that long ago that I went out and bought Thanquol and Bone Ripper and the Storm Fiends. So these are going to be in the new set, but obviously I had to go and buy them already, damn it. But never mind. Can't really complain with more figures. But getting back to the article, it all started off with this little teaser video where they showed some figures in kind of black and white in a kind of old-fashioned horror movie style, and then it ended up by saying that this box set is coming soon. Now, when you look at the article, you get more details here. So the narrative is going to be taking place in Chamon, which is the realm of metal, I do believe, and it's going to be based around none other than the Flesh Eater Courts and the SKAVEN. But look at how cool these models look. I'm going to start with the SKAVEN, one of the most beloved and endeared factions of the whole of Age of Sigmar. Let's face it, most people absolutely love the SKAVEN, especially after they bought them to Total War 2. But don't you just look at this model and see the potential for where they can take the SKAVEN? I kind of doubt they'll bring out too many new figures for the SKAVEN because they do have an incredibly large range of models, but even just updating them, putting them on the correct bases, sorry to square base lovers, you know, I just look at this figure and I just think, wow, I'm excited. Even the, what was he called? The guy from the Warband. Was it Spike Claw's Swarm or something like that? The little Shadespire Warband that came out, or the Warhammer Underworld's Warband that came out, it looks absolutely incredible. The figures are amazing. Again, like the Grots, they're one of these factions that has just got so much personality. The humour there is absolutely brilliant. So many people love these models. They're so iconic that I can't understand why it has taken Games Workshop so long to basically update this faction. I know we had the Pestilence battle tome, but that really was not good enough. And being one of the earliest battle tomes of all, it's in dire need of being updated, and it missed out all of the good stuff. Like the Storm Fiends, they're nowhere to be seen because obviously they don't belong to Pestilence. So yeah, that's basically our look at one of the new characters from the box, which is obviously going to be called the Carrion Empire. Does it say what he is? Yes, he's going to be called a Warlock Bombardier. But man, I am so excited, especially for that. Like, it just nails everything you want about a SKAVEN model. Kind of combination of magic, technology, disease. It just looks perfect. And then after that, we don't really want to forget the abhorrent Archregent, who is the Flesh Eater Court hero. Again, he looks absolutely amazing. I love the bit of scenery that he's standing on. It very much reminds me of the Aberrant Ghoul King model. Let me see if I can see him, because I know that you can take this guy separately. Here we go, here he is. It's got that same kind of vibe with him kind of leaping off a piece of scenery, but you can't deny that that looks so much better. Look at the extra detail in his face. A small bit of armor that he's wearing there by the looks of it. The skull on his belt. It looks absolutely incredible. It just seems unbelievable that literally two of those factions that you just think they're some of the strongest from a narrative perspective. The models look great. Thematically, they're really cool. And Games Workshop have decided basically to just refresh these two factions all in one go and bring them out into this box together. So very, very exciting. It's quite an intriguing concept, to be honest, pitting the SKAVEN against the Flesh Eater course. I never would have seen that coming in a million years, but they were in dire need of being updated, so I think it will work. Now, this is the very important picture because it shows us what I assume is going to be in the box. Let me just check there's no more interesting details here. The Archregent is even more vicious and regal than an Aberrant Ghoul King. Okay, so this guy is even cooler than this guy. I mean, you could probably guess that from the model, but still. The latter is a demolitions expert armed with a Doom rocket. Awesome, love it. A weapon so powerful and dangerous, it makes the Doom wheel look sensible. Okay, so really quickly, let's take a look at the picture. So the contents of this box are kind of a mix between some really fun SKAVEN units that I absolutely love and kind of the start collecting box for the Flesh Eater courts, except these, I think these are called Crypt Flayers in the background there. Let me just double check. Yeah, they're the Crypt Flayers, and there are also those 3 Crypt Horrors in front of them. So we've got 3 Crypt Horrors, we've got 3 Crypt Flayers, we've got 20 Crypt Ghouls, we've got the 2 new heroes, we've got 3 Storm Fiends, we've got a Doom Wheel, and we've got the Warp Lightning Cannon, of course, in the background there too, and little bits of scenery which may be in the box. I'm not really sure. I guess we'll wait and see. But that's a pretty good set. If you compare it to the start collecting box, there's only 10 of the Crypt Ghouls there, whereas you get 20 in the main box. You're losing out on the Terrorgeist, which is a bit of a shame, but in its place you're getting an extra box of the Crypt Flayers. I'm not sure how many people know this, but these 2 things here, the Crypt Flayers and the Crypt Horrors, they are actually the exact same box. So you can build them in any way you want, and I assume that's going to be exactly the same within this set. So personally, I really liked the Horrors a lot more than the Flayers, but then obviously you get a bit more fast attack with the Flayers. So, you know, it's up to you how you want to build it, variety or just what you prefer. But the Warp Lightning Cannon as well, that's another dual build kit, and you can assemble that as a Plague Claw, which is pretty cool. And Storm Fiends, like, who does not love Storm Fiends? I think they are some of the best models in Age of Sigmar. I've had them for quite a while, and I've built them, I've glued them together, but I never got around to painting them, and obviously at the moment they've got the wrong bases with them, so I haven't even glued mine to the base. But again, like, what's going to happen with Thankwell? They just bought this incredible new model out during the end times and then basically just wrote off Fantasy. Such a waste of one of the best models in all of Warhammer, basically. But we do know he's not necessarily dead, so I'm sure hopefully they'll find a way to bring him back. But I mean, Storm Fiends on their own, they're nearly £40. A Plague Claw, which obviously will be the cannon there, the Warp Lightning Cannon, that's £20. The Doom Wheel is another £20. So that's already about £80 worth of stuff just from the SKAVEN, and that's excluding the brand new hero, which looks incredible. I think you're looking at about £30 each for these 2 units and another 20 or so for them. So again, about another £80. You know, we're looking at about 170-ish pounds worth of stuff. If they do sell that at the right price point, that's going to be a great set. But obviously the most exciting thing of all is the very, very last sentence saying it's going to be out soon. And we're not stopping there. In the coming weeks, you'll have even more exciting news on the way for SKAVEN and Flesh Eater Court players. So at the very, very least, we know that's going to be obviously a brand new battle tome for each of these factions, because that is sorely needed. But hopefully, and I've got all of my fingers and toes crossed, hopefully that means they're going to give us some more updated figures, especially for Flesh Eater Courts, because let's face it, they need them the most. But, you know, I wouldn't complain with some new SKAVEN figures either. You've only got to look at this to know why that would be fantastic. But anyway, I think I've ranted more than enough about these 2 box sets. I hope you are all well. Thank you very much for watching the video, and I will see you guys really soon.